Hey folks, Jake here from the future, because unfortunately this episode we had some technical problems where you couldn't hear the players for the first 90 minutes of the session. You could hear me quite well, because you couldn't hear the players, but that didn't really make for especially compelling viewing, and I wasn't really sure what the best way to solve that problem was, so I figured the best thing to do actually was probably just for me to tell you what happened, and that's what this bit is. So the end of last episode saw the party about to be engaged by one of Scale's legions when the mountain that the party were climbing up with their army was rocked by this big blast of magic from the enemy, and it was at that point that Lidda the wizard revealed that she had sent me a message I had failed to read, saying that she was probably sneaking off the night before. And I, at the time, had said that was a good place to stop things, and this session, we would pick up with a flashback. And that's what we did. So we started play this week with Lidda in her tent, arriving at her decision to leave, effectively. She writes the party a note explaining her position, that she doesn't really want to be here anymore, she doesn't really feel like it's her fight, and so she leaves that note somewhere prominent, gathers up all her things, and goes to find her sister Pela. When she finds Pela, she explains to Pela that, she's leaving, basically, and asks Pela what she wants to do, and Pela asks, well, can I accompany you? Can I come with you if you're, getting out of here? And Lidda says, of course. And then she teleports the pair of them using teleportation circle to the Spire, the big university on the mainland. When they arrive in the Spire, they arrive in the designated teleportation arrivals spot. It's this big kind of formless room. There's no ceiling. It's all misty and smoky. And there are these two titanic arcane elementals that kind of accost the pair when they arrive.
Arcanist, this is an unusual time for study.
And then eventually they let them into the Spire proper. So entering into a corridor outside, Lidda and Pela can hear two voices nearby, and Lidda turns and recognizes them as belonging to Animus and Talara. And as they emerge, Animus and Talara are quite clearly in a conversation, but as Lidda and Pela kind of come into eyesight, they sort of stop, almost as if they were talking about Lidda herself, and they kind of beckon her over, and they, just kind of get the lowdown on her. Where has she been, what's she been up to? They seem confused, or certainly Talara seems confused, because she had recently scryed Lidda to check out where she was and had seen her in the Northern Expanse. And Lidda explains, no, that wasn't me. I was in Scale. It's quite different from the Northern Expanse. It's like the opposite friggin' end of the continent. But now is probably a good time to let you know that I'm a clone. I'm not the original Lidda Seaworth. There is another one that came before me and then made me, and she, the original Lidda Stoneworth, may have been in the north. That would probably explain why you saw her there. It wasn't me, I was on Scale. And Animus and Talara are like, I mean, they're like big wizards, so they're not like especially taken aback by this. They're kind of like, okay. Their biggest confusion point, and certainly the kind of biggest confusion point for Talara, seems to be that Lidda is like comparatively normal for a clone. She was like, the way Talara explains it, she says they're like half people normally. They don't have a soul, but Lidda quite obviously does have a soul. So they're kind of confused by that, but aren't especially like kind of concerned or phased by the fact that Lidda's a clone. So having been informed of Lidda's clone status, the pair say, well, hey, you're not in the north right now. Would you be interested in going to the north? Because there's this organization of knights that we think the Shadow Guard, who the players had met kind of pre-stream. There's this organization of knights, the Shadow Guard, and we understand you know them, and we've also not heard from them in a while, and we were kind of expecting to. And we've tried scrying them, and we can't see anything, and we can't get in contact with them, so we kind of need someone capable to go up there and check it out and make sure everything's okay. I'm sure there'll be some kind of perfectly logical explanation for why they're not answering calls and why we can't see them. There's big wards that we put down there like a couple of 100 years ago. They're probably just playing havoc with things. This third moon just turned up. That's going to have all sorts of crazy weird effects that we don't even know about yet. So we're just looking for someone to go and check it out. Would you be interested in doing that? And that is like, she doesn't seem especially convinced by their insistence that, there'd be a perfectly logical explanation for what's going on up there. She has some concerns that something ill may have befallen those knights. But she says, yeah, sure, I'll go check it out. But, can you teleport me up there or something? Like, it'd be a long walk. Like, it's a couple of 100 miles up there, and I don't really want to go on foot. And Claire says, yeah, sure, we can send you there. That's no problem. Talara also forces Animus to apologize for the way that Spire handled Lidda and the Pale King those many months ago, which Lidda accepts. And Talara also explains that, last time Lidda and Talara had seen each other, Lidda had been kind of musing that she would quite like an apprentice or something like that to come and, cast teleportation circle in her tower to give her like a permanent teleportation circle there because she can't be there for a year to make it happen. And Talara has found someone. She's found an appropriate apprentice, although she calls him a spell monkey. She's found an appropriate apprentice called Oriel, who has agreed to do this for Lidda in exchange for an arcane reference. Their conversation is then interrupted as Lidda is accosted by a homunculus called Stoven, who works for the library and says she has overdue books. I am Stoven, a book patrol homunculus, here is proof badge. You have overdue books, 5. You are book criminal, violated library laws, but today your spree is at end. You have 30 seconds to return books, or there will be punitive measures. Stoven says, you got 5 overdue books, and that only has 4 of them with her, so she kind of hands over the 4 that she has, but then, finds out that it's going to be like a hefty fine for the last one, and so she and Pela kind of like sneak off, while Stoven's back is kind of turned while he disappears off to go and do something, and they go and find an inn to stay for the night. Flash forward to the next morning, and Zorgar returns from wherever Zorgar has been. We've still not figured this out, but there is some reason that Zorgar has not been with the rest of the players while Finn hasn't been able to make it. And he gets back from wherever he is, and he's kind of like immediately taken aside by his lieutenant Samorn, who fills him in on what's happened. He's kind of like, he's all flustered. He explains that, there was this spy, and, Naren punished him, and all the men are like, they don't know what to think about this. It's causing all sorts of strife and disarray. He's worried that there's going to be desertions, and he kind of implores Zorgar to take kind of a more of a leadership role. He says he says he doesn't think Naren really has the discipline to be in charge of a military unit like this, but Zorgar does, and he kind of is sort of all in a mess. And Zorgar says, "Well, hey, thanks for coming to fill me in on this. I appreciate that. I'll go talk to Naren." Zorgar goes off to see Naren and gets filled in from Naren on what happened. Naren's been up all night. He found the spy Torvax's diary. He's been reading that, and he expresses to Zorgar some regrets that, he's maybe not handled things as well as he could have. The way he phrases it is that he sort of tried to please everyone in some way by cutting a route sort of in the middle, but he's actually concerned that what's really happened is he's managed to please absolutely no one because he didn't commit to either side. And that's kind of seems to be sort of Samorn's appraisal of the situation. So him and Zorgar have a discussion. Zorgar says, hey, don't want to take any of your stuff away from you at all here, but, everything seems a bit tense right now. Why don't I take some of the sort of day-to-day responsibilities? You can kind of lay low for a while. And Naren agrees to this. Meanwhile, the party discover that Lidda is not here, and they find the letter that she has left them, and it reads, "My friends, I am sorry to leave so abruptly, but after the events today, it has come to my attention that this is not my fight. I stood by whilst a man was mutilated and did nothing to stop it, and it is obvious to me that in this fight I am no longer a member of the party, but a soldier. I refuse to be a soldier in a war that is not mine to fight, in a country that I know almost nothing about. Naren, I understand you did what you had to do, but I came here as a friend and not a soldier, and it is no longer appropriate for me to be here. Call me if you need anything, but I cannot promise my return. Meet me on the mainland when you all get back. Good luck, and please keep yourselves alive." Reeling, the party initially scrambled to feed everyone because Pela the chef is missing. So they've got a lot of hungry soldiers, but they put together this kind of mushroom stroganoff sort of a deal that seems to go down quite well. And as they are eating breakfast, they sort of discuss what this means for them. They have, obviously their friend has left, but also their friend is a powerful wizard, which is nice to have around. And also their friend, the powerful wizard, was able to kind of get in contact with their ship and was almost their only way of getting in contact with Naren's ship, since Farrell lost the sending stone that he had. So they kind of discuss this and what to do. They come up with some kind of ways to kind of mitigate Lidda's absence, but they decide kind of for the present they're going to stay the course, stay the plan that they had. They're going to go southeast into the mountains, try and cross over into the forest on the other side, so that they can then use the Daisy Highway to move the remaining soldiers to their new base. But Naren has been reading Torvax's diary, and he has surmised that Torvax doesn't know exactly where they were going to go, where the new base is, but he's figured out, kind of the rough area. So Naren is pretty sure that even when they get to this new base that they've found, they're probably going to have to move the soldiers again if they want to stay hidden. So, yeah, you're going to go and check one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go and find him. He's kind of sitting on a rock eating his stew.
You
kinda
good,
points
buddy? It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Rurik and Zorgar.
Nice.
Just hang out with him for a bit.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you kind of just chill out with him. He's kind of obviously there's a language barrier. He's also not in like a particularly talkative mood. At one point, he's like, "Is Narn okay?" He seems.
Didn't tell you.
Okay.
Probably not.
Oh. I hope he feels better. Where are we going today?
Up a hill, I think.
I like hills.
Hills are good. Hills are good.
Also, they're tiring.
Oh, I'm sure a ward will give you a piggyback if you ask nicely.
What's that?
You know, when you climb someone's shoulders?
Oh, a baxi.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got a baxi for work. Oh, I'd be so tall.
You would? You'd be taller
Yeah.
than everybody else? Taller than
Yeah,
Aaron?
taller than Ward.
Yeah, you would be taller than Ward.
Yeah, he perks up with that idea. Yeah, otherwise, is there anything else you guys are doing that morning? Then I guess we will flash forward to current time with yeah, we have that like weird episode in the middle of the series where they totally flash back for an entire episode and then they come back to
You mean all of anime?
You mean every anime?
We have a spa day?
Oh,
Beach
Ah,
day.
Beach day.
yeah. Volleyball.
Yeah, okay. So where we had gotten to last week was you were halfway up a mountain, and then you'd kind of been spotted by this other army. This other army comes round, and then someone in that other army had discharged this blast of green lightning towards the mountain. It impacted with the side of the mountain, and it seemed as if it was starting a landslide. And then someone in your army had kind of sent a big blast of magic back, and none of you are entirely sure who that was, but it was someone. And I think last week I described it as like a big blue ball of energy. It's actually more like a white, like a silvery white ball of energy, and it kind of flies through the air and then detonates above their army in like this shower of icicles, basically. But it is going to be a skill challenge to avoid this landslide that you're about to get caught in. So, let me have a look here. So it's going to be, you're going to need 6 successes before you get 3 failures. And the DC is going to be 17. Because you're trying to move 140 folk who are currently looking at the beginning of a landslide to somewhere that is not in the path of a landslide. And that is difficult. So every failure represents a chunk of soldiers that will, at the end of the skill challenge, whichever way it goes, will be caught in the landslide. That's not going to go well for those soldiers. If that makes sense.
Has everyone noticed that there's a landslide happening, or is that
Oh
part
yeah,
of the challenge?
yeah. Like you're in like the beginning state. Like everyone has noticed this big crack of green lightning. Not everyone will have kind of put 2 and 2 together and say that means there's probably going to be a landslide. We probably need to move. Some people would be like, "Wow, that was a big blast of green lightning." Neat.
Whoa.
Woo.
It's pretty cute.
So, It's been so long since we've done a skill challenge. Do you guys want to roll for an order, or do you want to just kind of pick and choose your order? It's kind of up to you guys.
I don't mind.
I don't mind. I'm cool with either.
My thing involves having Crafton sort of fly in a certain direction. So maybe if Crafton if you want to do something first, but before me.
I had
or
two
after.
ideas. I thought I could either use, because it has to be skills, or does it have to be skills? Because I was going to say I could use my nature skill to see if there was some more circuitous route to safer ground or something like that to avoid the thing. Would that be a thing? Another thing I thought is I could turn into an earth elemental and sort of burrow at the earth and maybe mitigate people that were caught in it.
If you want to like find the good path and like fly in that direction, I was thinking of using Beacon of Hope and kind of pretty much guiding the army to where would be a good place. So like you could fly there and I could like inspire the army as we go by.
Yeah, because I could fly there, and then if people did get caught, maybe I could use my because the earth elementals can travel through Earth, so I could maybe just batter down there quickly and save some.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, so I could do that first. Do you want me to like use a nature thing to find a safe route or the safest possible route and then fly there?
Yeah, like kind of fly in that direction over the army.
Cool.
And I'll
Sounds good.
that was my thing.
So I can turn into like a parrot, so it'll be brightly colored.
So are you?
easy to
So
follow.
am I on the right page that say that some of you are flying above? Is that right?
Yeah, it's me,
Frappin,
Frappin.
Oh, we're flying already.
Yeah,
you've
we're on your
been
back.
scouting stuff out, I think.
This is
Oh,
from
that's
last
right.
last
Okay,
week.
I get you. I get you.
Am I on the ground then, or am I on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yours is the
all
main
you're
body
on the
there.
ground.
Okay. Cool.
You are most conveniently, you and Aaron, probably right at the front. So in direct path of the land. So who's going first? Raffin's going first, is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to use a nature check to see if I can, find a route that minimizes casualties for this landslide.
Sure, okay.
So I'll roll a nature
Go for it.
check.
$14. Okay.
Do a quick question I always forget. Do I have to give people +6 before the result comes up, or is it?
No, you can give them I mean, I don't know, like, in this scenario, you can give them it because you already know the number you gotta beat beforehand.
Okay.
So, like, that would mean that you can't do it. So, if that makes sense, so you can give your +6, but remember that it uses your reaction.
Yeah.
So you're only gonna get one
Yeah,
per
I
go
know.
round. But yeah, if you want
We
to
do
do that.
have +6, yeah.
Okay. So how does Muir doing that help? What does Muir do to help Raffin in the air? You're on Raffin's back, aren't you? So
Yeah. So I
Okay.
give him a nudge and point to. What about over there, or something like that?
sure, okay. So yeah, Raffin, you notice that you all on Raffin's back notice the beginning of this landslide beginning to happen, and Raffin, you're kind of having a look around. You kind of do like a wheel in a circle as you cast around for somewhere better to go. And initially you're like, I don't actually see anything. I mean, it's all, that landslide is going to be big. It's going to get absolutely everyone. This is all going to be terrible. They've played an absolute blinder. But then Muir kind of like nudges you and points over to a bit down. Kind of just slightly off the beaten path. It's about 100 meters back from where the army is. So it would mean kicking the entire army into reverse and going back the way. But it definitely looks like there's like this ledge, kind of sort of like off path that will probably be able to minimize casualties as much as possible. So who is going next?
As Fraffin's like flying over the army, I was wondering if I could cast Beacon of Hope, and try and just like catch as many people in that radius as we're kind of going by, and try and inspire them to
So
follow
just
us.
a flyby inspire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering, would it be possible to like use my electric-y, cleric-y stuff to make like a? Is there a Mark-X symbol? Is there a crest of Mark-X?
There will be. I don't know what it looks like. But you will have definitely seen it.
It's got
Can
very
I,
Ulrich.
can I make the crest of Mark-X? In that
I mean,
sort of-
it depends how good your roll is.
Okay.
You can try. So give us, if you're casting the spell, give us a religion check.
a religion check.
If you fuck it
That
up,
was
you
your-
might make
your
the bats
wisdom.
logo.
I know.
Oh, Nelly.
Yes, that's cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
It would be more than that as well because it doesn't get wisdom.
Sure.
So that's great.
Okay. So yeah, everyone on the ground, you watch as Krafen and Mira and Rurak kind of wheel around in the sky, and then Rurak holds his hammer up, and it starts. There's like this big crack of thunder down to it, and then he kind of points, and there is this kind of like just kind of appearing above the mass of people as Krafen starts swooping down, kind of like just passing over everyone. You see the clan Mark-X symbol, and everyone, you feel like just this surge of like adrenaline and like, yeah, fuck yeah, cool, we're gonna, yeah, that's us. Kind of sweeps through the entire army.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has any effect on anyone, but oh, where did Beacon of Hope just go? There it is. For the duration, each target has advantage on Wisdom saving throws and Death saving throws and regains health. Sorry, it bestows hope and vitality. That's probably the main
Okay,
thing
cool.
that would apply to the army, I think.
You guys feel so hopeful and so freaking vital.
Yeah, vital as fuck, man.
Mhm.
So who's going next?
Oh,
Can I go? Can I use persuasion to just kind of like get everyone's attention, like, and just like shout as loud as I can, and just kind of order everyone to like move that way away from the
Sure.
landslide.
Yeah, go for it.
Shite.
Oh dear.
That's
Ruh-roh.
it's a fail. Because it's a 10.
Have you got any inspiration?
I do. I believe I do. Where's the inspiration on this? I had it on my.
That's a good question. I'm not actually sure. I remember you having it.
I definitely had at least one.
Yeah.
It's a checkbox on your main sheet.
Oh yeah, inspiration. Yeah. So yours is taken. That's fine. Yeah, you can spend an inspiration if you want.
I'll do that. Reroll.
Go for it.
Hey!
There we go. There we
There
go.
it is.
So that's actually, bam, that's 2 because it's a 20.
Tasty.
So
Very nice.
I was just like.
Your voice breaks the first time.
Yeah.
sure, okay. So yeah, as Raffen and Rurak and as this this symbol forms and they swoop down past everyone, Zorgar like turns on a dime, and he bellows, with probably with a sort of like a he's quite an inspiring figure, but I don't know, maybe given the circumstances earlier today, he just has a bit more kind of oomph in his actions, and he starts barking orders left, right, and center. He's directing everyone to move down, and people are just like, oh man, let's do it. This guy is cool, and he says we need to go over there, so we're going over there. Let's everyone we're a team, we're a unit, we're going over there. And they start moving. Everyone kind of turns around and starts kind of surging forward back down the path. So who is next?
Can I go next?
Sure.
Can Mira cast Wind Wall where the landslide's starting?
Yeah.
Just to give a bit of time.
Sure, yeah.
Arcana?
Yeah.
The handy dandy thing is, I don't think I can actually lose it.
No, you can't. No. Well, if you've got a 1, you could. it would have counted as 2 failures. But yeah, with a 29. So have you got like a device that casts wind wall?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Trying to think. Probably more like an arcane pulse thing. Just a swamp or something
Sure.
like
Okay.
that.
So yeah, as Raffin is leading everyone backwards, Muir kind of flings like one of her little cannon things over her shoulder, and it kind of latches kind of off. You guys don't see this, but you see the effects of it. It kind of lands on the path, and then kind of like a little cannon comes out, and it releases this like big like sonic boom. It goes boom, and kind of all the landslide that's beginning to stop kind of goes. And then kind of like and then start surging back again. It buys you a couple of precious seconds. So you're one away. So who's going next?
Come on, bring it home, someone.
I guess Naren's gonna try and see if anybody's lacking behind or got heavy stuff and try and help them along by just picking up the ship, probably picking up Gek if he sees them too.
Yeah,
Just
Gek is
hauling him down.
freaking out because he's small as well. Like he's like kind of in danger of being trampled.
Naren's just grabbing him.
Sure.
Fucking bolting with him.
Sure. Okay. So what skill are you using?
Athletics.
Go for it.
It's all Naren's good at.
Okay.
Hey.
So I need to start giving you guys harder skill challenges.
Oh no.
So
I disagree.
you guys, you guys all kick the army into reverse. Naren is was at the front, now at the back, so it's using that momentum to just like jimmy people along. He's grabbing people, he's holding stuff. Like this army surges backwards down the mountain slope and then kind of pulls in, kind of off the main path. And by the time everyone arrives there, like most of the army gets in there. Naren and Zorgar are at the back, and you guys can feel as this landslide is kind of coming down behind you. Like it gets like you can hear it's only like a few meters behind you when you kind of like make the leap in with everyone else kind of out of the way of the landslide. And at this point, Naren's got he's got Gek under one arm. He's got like 3 bags like hoisted over his shoulder, like by the straps, and he's he's probably carrying some other thing as well, and he's kind of like jimmying people along. So obviously, Zarzan hasn't really had a shot because we got that kind of crit. But what's Zarzan doing? You can give it another. You can give it a roll if you want.
Zarzan? I was gonna, if I could use my athletics with my natural explorer feat, where my group isn't slowed by difficult terrain.
Sure, yeah.
Gather around people and help them push on.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. There we go. Sure. So yeah. So Zarzan's kind of, I guess, Naren and Zork are at the back of the army as they're going down. Zarzan's in the middle, and he's kind of like, he's like pointing out, like, don't step there, go this path. He's kind of leading people, and kind of jimmying people along. And as a group, you're able to kind of get this army just by the skin of your teeth, really, out of harm's way. And you hear this landslide like thunder down the mountainside, and then kind of as you look over your shoulder, as the noise finishes, there's just this like cloud of dirt and dust. Can everyone give me a perception check?
And mighty 3.
Advantage.
Yeah, not rolling so high now, are you?
Oh, the train!
Why is there-
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
Hey.
What'd you get the train for?
Well,
How'd you do that?
There was too many questions there. I rolled a 1 and Thomas appeared.
So let's have a look. So Mir got a 3. Nah. Zarzan got a 9. Raffin got a 26. Rhett got a 21. So yeah, probably Raffin and Rurik on Graffin's back, you're probably kind of like,
Yeah,
kind of, yeah.
it's coughing.
But Rurik and Graffin, you can see kind of in the distance, because from your higher vantage point, you can see kind of following along the path you came, but some number of hours behind you, you can see the 8th Legion as well, the 8th Legion of Scale, is kind of heading in your direction. They're like 6 or 7 hours behind you, basically. Looks like they're basically at the point where you were this morning.
Graffin, what do you say we slow them down?
Oakley.
Fly us above them and fly in circles, and also dodge the lightning.
Caw.
Right, is that the people at the bottom of the hill, or is this a different army?
There's a different army. There's people at the bottom of the hill, and then some few hours march away is the 8th Legion.
I feel we have a more
You'd met
immediate
before.
army to deal with.
Muir, do you want to jump off, and me and Graffin will slow them down with the storm sphere? Maybe you can tell Naren the 8th Legion's coming.
I think we should stop this army that's right next to us. Surely.
Are they? Are they at the bottom of the hill, Jake? The army
So
that-
there is an army that you are unfamiliar with at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
And there is Karth's army that you met at the village.
Mhm.
Has kind of swung around and is now where you guys were this morning, basically.
And we're at the top of the hill.
You're about, you're slightly further down the hill than you were. You're about kind of like halfway up, yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Muir? Do you think we should
I will
keep
say one army is mere minutes away, the other one is hours away.
Right, okay then. So, what do you want to do? I can't hear you.
Izzy, you're
you're muted. Izzy.
I knew that. Right. I think we should probably at least swing by the army that's above the hill. If they've gone up the hill, I would still like to tidal wave them down, because that sounds fun. Not for them, but for me. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of keeping a storm behind our army.
That's a good idea.
And making it difficult to climb the hill, because, storm-
The other thing to note, obviously, is there's now a landslide at the bottom of the hill. There's now a landslide between you and that other army.
That's true.
Yeah.
That
Figured
gamble
that's
hasn't really paid off for them.
pretty difficult for them to traverse that. Like, maybe the main focus of our army should just be going, like leaving.
Also, we need to discover where that giant blue bolt came from. I am hoping that was Luminar, but don't know.
Don't know. I can get up there like with Krafen just now and start laying down a storm on them.
Okay, I'll stick with you and be ready with tidal wave and other bullshit.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
so that's what's going on the bird. What is the situation like on the ground with Naren and Zargar and Zarzan?
Naren is probably commanding his troops to just get back up and start rushing up the mountain, while also searching for Mr. Luminar.
You mean Saros?
Thank you, Saros. Yeah.
He's also not a Luminar.
Yeah, he's Ulrich. Or was.
Oh fuck yeah.
Ulrich
Who's
is magic
Luminar
clan.
again?
Luminar is the crafty dude.
Yeah, I got that one.
Ulrich. Thank you, Mr. Ulrich. That's who I'm looking for.
Yeah, he's around. He probably kind of in the aftermath kind of picks his way through the army, kind of up to where you, as will all the other leaders. They're like, kind of sort of looking for commands.
Gonna tell him to start getting his people to move up the hill again and ask him, was that big bolt him? Because I'm fairly aware of. What? No.
No, I know who it was. It wasn't me.
Who was it?
I can do that, but I didn't. It's I'll introduce you after. What are the orders?
Get people moving up the hill. Do you have a way to defend against them doing that again?
Probably, yeah. Let me see what I can do. I don't think they'll try it twice.
Let's hope so.
He says like an energy expenditure like that it'll tax their caster greatly. Sure, okay. So people on the ground are moving up the hill. People in the air are going down to harry the army, is that right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
So meanwhile, Lidda, you wake up in something gone weird. No, I don't think so. Lidda, you wake up in. You're in bed in Meriden. Kind of standard morning, really, for you. What are your plans for the day?
Well, I gotta figure out something with my sister. Ayla, things are probably gonna be a bit boring. So I don't know if you wanna actually stick around, or maybe you can go and see
What do you mean? Of course I'll stick around.
Okay, well, the Spire also asked me to do a thing, which is a little bit
Well-
risky, so I'm gonna have to leave you for a little bit, but I'll
You don't
be able
need
to
your-
come back.
What did she call me? Like a spell monkey or something?
Yeah, but you're not a spell monkey.
What's a spell monkey? I could be a spell monkey.
Yeah, well, you need to know how to cast spells.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. How quickly can you teach me?
Not that fast, I don't think. But also, I feel like you probably don't want to be getting into another big situation again. It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have to make breakfast.
Yeah, see,
I gotta
it's
lie in. I never get a lie in.
Yeah. So, maybe it'd be good to, you could stay in the capital for a bit, or you could go see
Yeah.
Grandpa Salty, or just do whatever.
don't wanna go
I
home.
need
Home
to
is
go
boring.
with it eventually.
Well, I can stay here, I guess. You know, it's always seemed pretty fun here. You know, so what are you doing? Where are you going?
Well, I'm gonna spend a couple days, getting some new spells, I think. But after that, I've gotta head up north for probably like a day. Luckily, I'm
day,
getting,
that's not long. Okay, I can
yeah,
survive
well,
for a day.
it's one of those things where it's like it could be a day, but it could also be a thing where like I don't end up coming back. So it's kind of a dangerous thing.
Where I what?
Well, everything I do at this point is kind of dangerous. It's just
I mean, what's dangerous
And I
about this thing? If it's dangerous, why are they sending you on your own?
Yeah, it's good. Well, I'm not supposed to go in or anything. I'm just supposed to look.
Oh, okay. How are you getting back?
I can teleport back to the Spire, just like we did
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yesterday.
That was weird.
It's the gang there that's the problem.
Right.
But
Okay.
they're gonna put me there, I think.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. It's been a night, okay, and
Yeah.
I need.
We were on a totally different island this time yesterday.
That we were.
Do you think they're okay?
Time zones,
Have you
isn't
heard
it?
from them? Are they not going to be
What
pestering
time is
you?
it?
It's like 10 or 11 a.m. The
Oh,
sending
they're
zone might go
probably
off at this
message-
point.
Oh,
Start
okay.
vibrating.
Is that the first time?
Yeah,
Or
the
like-
first time.
Oh,
Is that them now?
I don't know if they've read the note yet, so I don't want to answer it in case.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very dramatic, would it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
Because
how are
the
you
note
gonna know?
explains everything, and I don't
Okay.
want to be like, oh,
How
actually,
do you know when they've read
left,
the note,
but
though?
I don't know.
Okay. Will they stone back?
It'll be fine. I'll give it like a couple more hours if they contact again, then I'll.
What if they just don't find it? You know? What if, like...
They didn't find it. I left it like right out. Since it blew away, but
Yeah?
if
Or
it was
Gek could
that
have been in
urgent,
and taken it? Or,
that's true.
you know, I mean, all sorts of stuff could have happened to it.
They have other ways to contact me. If it was really urgent, then I would get a message.
Okay. So when do you have to go?
I don't know when I'm going, but I do need to go to the library.
Is that
Some of the most
Dude
exciting stuff in the world.
gonna come and hassle you again?
Oh shit! Oh, you're right. Oh well, I need to give him the money anyway.
That's extortionate. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but it was a restricted book.
I mean, you can buy loads of books for that amount of money.
Not a restricted one.
Oh, okay. Well, why is it restricted?
Oh,
How do
I
you have it
can't
if
remember.
it's restricted?
Well, I'm allowed to take restricted stuff out.
Well, then it's not restricted. Then they shouldn't charge you that much money.
Yeah, well, you're right. I agree. What do you, I feel like do you need like or want a job or anything, or do you just want to chill out for a while?
Kind of just want to relax for a bit, I guess. It's really
That's
exhausting being in the army.
Yeah.
I don't know why people
Yeah.
join the army.
Well,
I wouldn't do
people
it
have stuff to
again.
fight for. Yeah, I would encourage you not to.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't gonna, so.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, what am I gonna do? Let's get breakfast,
That sounds like a good idea.
and then we'll deal with everything later.
Sure. Okay.
I want at least one. But no, you know what? Lidda wants at least one day for herself before she starts doing other shit.
Sure. Okay. So I guess we'll cut back then to the hillside. So you guys are just kind of yeeting yourselves up the mountainside, is that right? And the people on the bird are going to hassle the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay. So all the soldiers start shifting into gear again. They're still pretty inspired after that. They're like, man, we just avoided a landslide. You know, we're invincible. We can do anything. So they, kick into double time as they start heading back up the hill. And Bird Squad, what are you guys doing?
What are we doing?
I think I just fly over the enemy army that's like below.
Sure.
Could drop bombs.
Yeah, sure.
You can do that.
Sure. So you guys start, heading down. And they're not that far away, especially not on Birdbank. You see, there's quite a big army. They outnumber you like 3-2. And kind of as you approach, you hear these whizzes as arrows start kind of flying past your head from below. None hit you yet, but they're definitely aware of you and are firing upon you.
I'm thinking I cast Shield of Faith. I haven't cast that in a while. Figure out how to work it again. So I don't believe I have it prepared, so never mind. I'll just activate the storm with the spear.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
And definitely deters a lot of the fire you're getting as this, the rest of you see, you kind of get caught in the edge of the storm as well. Actually, not even just the edge. You get caught in this storm because a big old storm kicks into existence, just like Rurak activates the orb and kind of holds it above his head, and then there is this this like rippling wind, then turns into this massive storm cloud that sweeps across the whole mountain area, and rain starts bucketing down. There's like stabs of lightning erupting nearby. And you guys on the bird, there's definitely they're still shooting at you, but it's kind of they're kind of getting blown away, of course. So you're not in a tremendous amount of danger from that until they figure out how much leading to give you and stuff like that. They're getting gradually closer, but they're clearly not very good at shooting into a storm. So are you doing anything else with the storm engaged, or are you just kind of hovering around?
Probably casting Call Lightning.
Sure, okay.
Or actually, don't I have Chain Lightning? Was one of the spells with the Sphere of Storms? Let me see how this works again. Yes. It has 3 charges. While holding, you can use an action to cast one of the following spells from it. Call Lightning spends 1 charge. Lightning Bolt spends 1 Storm Sphere. Or Chain Lightning spends 3. I'll cast Chain Lightning, I guess.
Okay.
Alright, yeah.
So let me just read Chain Lightning. So Chain Lightning isn't. It does 10 people. If that makes sense.
Is there a group of archers?
Give us a perception check. It's probably going to be difficult for you to see.
24?
Perhaps not. Yeah, you can see, you can kind of identify fairly quickly, where the arrows seem to be coming from. They are sort of bunched up in little kind of contingent groups. So you can definitely pick out a couple of spots where there's kind of a gathering of archers.
Yeah, if there's a larger group, I'll cast just Chain Lightning in that direction.
Sure. Yeah, so Rurak unleashes this, this bolt of lightning from the sphere that arcs down, kind of crackles past Raffin's ear, probably in a really, really loud manner, actually, as a bird. And it, arcs down towards the army below, and you see it kind of impact and then ripple through people. And that definitely, that kind of sort of slows the arrows that you're experiencing for a moment or two, and seems to sow some disarray. And they're they were moving kind of steadily forward. You can see where the landslide is. They have to kind of, there's some people at the front who are kind of starting to trying to shift through some of the rocks and things like that, so they can get past to kind of charge up the mountain. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I yeet a fireball out. How many people can I fit in a 20-foot cube or circle?
Quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot. There's definitely a big explosion goes off.
Okay, I'm gonna get a big old cylinder, pour some magic shit into it, and once give it a good shickle and just chuck it.
Sure, okay. Yeah, so Rurak, you watch as you throw the spell off, and then you watch Mira basically produce a pipe bomb, and then just kind of go, and eat it down. And kind of at this other point, there's this lightning spreading through one point, and then there's this kind of you see you kind of at a point where you think it would probably land. You see there's a 2-second beat, and then a lot of people go and then it goes and you see people go flying, and then
Can I roll for damage?
no, it's too abstract.
Aww.
Because in the same way that your unit doesn't have hit points, this unit doesn't have hit points either. But if it comes to a stand-up army fight, then any spells and things like that you're casting on them beforehand will kind of affect how strong they are, if that makes sense. So meanwhile, on the mountainside, you guys are just kind of heading up. Is that right?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. So you can kind of already tell you're still a few hours from the top. The storm is kind of making things reasonably slow going, because you're on this kind of incline, and now the previously fairly dry kind of track up is now starting to get kind of slick and muddy, especially with all these people absolutely bolting it up. So that's kind of slowing progress quite a lot, but also just the distances involved mean you're going to be kind of a few hours before you get to the top. If that changes your plans any. But otherwise, so we're not going to go round by round through stuff. If you're going up the mountain, and Mira and everyone on Birdback are just kind of harassing them, it only takes a few minutes of harassment before you see this kind of shimmery shield kind of go over the army, kind of like a giant tiny hut, and they kind of retreat back from the landslide, and sort of regroup within this kind of dome, and the arrows stop and things like that, and it looks like they're kind of assessing their next move, if that makes sense. They don't seem to be kind of immediately pursuing everything. So what are you guys on Birdback doing?
Keep an eye on it.
Sure, okay. You find quite quickly that the shield that has been erected over them is basically impervious to whatever spells you're throwing down.
Okay.
It looks like they're kind of taking a stock of the situation, basically.
Can I have another grenade just kind of not shiggled, but when that fucking thing drops, it's gonna get yeeted.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe we can keep doing this, or we can join the army. What do you think?
I mean, they're gonna have to walk anyway. We can't really help them walk faster. We may as well keep an eye on these guys,
Yeah.
So if they try anything funny, we can call the others.
All right. Cool. No problems. I've got an idea though, just to help Raffin out a little bit. Do a little thunderclap and just shout "Wings!" and hopefully he'll be over here soon.
Sure, okay. Yeah, you let out this huge cry. You don't get any immediate response, but you kind of feel I feel like he's heard that. Wherever he is, it can't be that far. Sure, okay. So a few minutes go by while this army is under their spell dome, and then the dome drops. Does that prompt anything for you guys?
I'm still going, so
Sure, okay.
yeah.
Raffin, can you give me a dex save, please?
Did that come up? I'm just clicking on did I click on the +2?
Hang on, let me look. You click on.
You click on the thing itself, right?
Yeah, you click on the word dexterity.
I've got you, yeah. Saving throw, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 6.
Oh, okay, can I give him +6 to
Yeah,
whatever
sure,
it was?
Good lord.
Okay, so the dome drops, but more precisely, the energy that is in the dome kind of gets like brought into a central point, and there is this discharge, like there's this blast of solid energy gets aimed
Death Star.
squarely at Krafen, and Krafen tries to bank out of the way, and Muir kind of sees it coming and like sort of like pulls up like a kind of a similar like a force, like a force buckler or whatever, like a little kind of blast and goes to try and deflect it, but it just blasts into Krafen. So you all take 42 damage.
Good lord.
42.
And
Okay.
Rurak and Mira, can you give us a deck save as well to see if you can
I'm
hold on
on-
to Krafen?
I am very unconscious, so I don't think
Are
I
you?
made that.
Okay,
Oh,
so
dear.
Mira gets blown off, and you can see her kind of start falling
Oh,
towards.
that one.
Ruh-roh.
Rurak, you also get blown off.
Okay.
No! Oh no!
Oh dear
Are
lord.
they anywhere near us?
And we
No,
see them
they're at the
getting
bottom of the
fucking
hill.
fallen.
You see this big laser beam go off. It's kind of like what the Moonwarden did.
Right. Can I
Where are my
like?
hit points?
I'm probably freaking out falling in the air. Not enough.
Get your parachute.
Yeah. If I had one, that'd be great. Can I try and see Muir and Krafen? Are either of them unconscious?
You can see Mira below you is falling. Krafen, how are you doing?
Because it would be my thingies, wouldn't it? I'm just trying to find what my eagle would have for hit points. No, of course I normally use thingies. It's not on here. I'm looking for the wrong thing.
A giant eagle has 26 hit points.
Oh, then he's
So you're
he's
no longer an eagle.
I'm no longer an eagle.
Oh dear.
Sure, okay. So yeah, Rurak, you can kind of you get hit by this. You feel this impact on your chest. You get like thrown off Krafen, partially because he stops being a bird, and you can kind of see like feeling around as you've got like a couple of seconds to try and be reasonably high in the air. You certainly got enough of a time to kind of see what's going on. You see Krafen kind of above you is falling. He still looks conscious. And Muir is kind of below you. She does not look. She is in a kind of a weird pose that doesn't suggest that she is really in full control of her limbs.
I'd like to like scream a healing word at Muir. Probably just a wake up!
Sure. Okay.
Wow!
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I'll do that at second level. So we'll cast a little spelly spell. Actually, it should be 3. Then do a healing word. How's this look? At second level, and cast a spell. There we go. That's sick. I'll tell you what. You know how I did Beacon of Hope earlier, Jake?
Uh huh.
And I guess I'm still concentrating on it.
Can make sense.
Can
You're
you-
not having to concentrate on
Can you
it
get the full heals from there?
Sure. Yeah.
Nice. So that'd be 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 5 from wisdom. So 13 hit points.
Yeah.
Muir.
Alright, let me kiss. Get better.
Do you have one of those para things? The things.
Yeah. So you black out for a minute,
From yelling.
and then you kind of hear this kind of distant voice, and then you kind of blink, and then you are in free fall. You're I don't know 100 meters from the ground, 150. You're gonna get it really soon.
Can I? Because I can't turn. 'Cause I've got the boots of flying, but can I turn into an eagle again and try and pick them up?
You can
Like,
try.
swoop down, catch.
It'd probably be quite difficult. You could. getting both of them might be a stretch. You could probably get one of them. Like, Rurak's close enough, you could probably catch him.
How possible is it to catch them from the ground? I know I'm not near them, but if I was,
Um,
How close
would
is
I
the
be
army
able to
them?
catch them?
like in theory.
At the expense of your life, probably.
Am I not moving at, are we not moving at terminal velocity now?
Like pretty
Is
much,
that
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
It would basically be less catching, more breaking their fall.
Yeah, also, at terminal velocity, would breaking their fall with your body do much difference from hitting the ground?
It's like Superman catching Lois Lane as they come
It's
up.
just cutting.
Yeah.
ground.
You're wearing metal armor.
Oh, well, if you hit the ground, you want me to come and heal you?
Yeah, that'd be appreciated.
We're
I
like,
can get there quickly.
I
now
don't
you
even know
can.
if we see them
I
falling
can.
yet.
Also,
I could
how
try
much
and
do you
see a
want
big
to
laser
do?
beam go
Rurak
off.
could like play to Altis, and maybe Altis will catch him.
Yeah, you know, maybe I'll
Can
Let me
Rurak-
ask my magic arm if he thinks Altius will catch us.
Can Rurak
You know you guys
prepare
have
an action-
Featherfall?
No, hold
Hey, Featherfall? I don't know Featherfall.
Rurak, how much healing did you?
13.
13. Yep, thank you.
Doesn't
See,
matter
I
if you're gonna lose that immediately.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
I woke
I
up.
have Featherfall, so I could use it. But also, in the interests of role playing, if I got beamed off a giant bird to the point of unconsciousness, and then a dwarf yelled at me and I woke up again, would I have all my mental faculties to cast that in time? I don't
Imagine
know.
waking up
I
and
could
just
see
falling.
you being flustered in that situation.
Yeah.
That's
But, you
fair.
know,
Featherfall is
adrenaline,
a
you know.
reaction though, so it's a quick spell.
Oh, I've already used my reaction, so I can't use it.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright, no, okay, I'm falling. I have nothing.
So who should I swoop for?
Jake, can Rurak prepare an action like just before he hits the ground?
Sure, what's
Before
the
he
action?
think-
I know what you're gonna do. It's that one where you go back to 1 hit point, right?
No. Rurak would like to cast, or would like to channel divinity. Is that the one? What's the big one again? The one where you cast a D100.
Oh, concordance.
No, there's like
Or
a thing.
divine intervention.
Divine intervention.
Sure, okay, yeah.
That's what Rurak would like to do.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Do we still have that wish?
Nope.
I wish to not hit the
We
ground.
used it the last time half the party died.
Oh, that's right.
We'll be fine. We have healing. This is much more of a worry than I think it needs to be.
Oh, wait. Can I do something? I just realized something I can do. I can save one of you.
All
You
right.
save one, I'll swoop for the other.
How
Can
are you
I-
planning to save them, Zorgar?
I'm going to cast find greater steed, and I can summon a griffin.
You can
And I
summon
can come and get you.
One, why the
Get you.
fuck have you not used this before? And two, they're really far away.
Yeah,
They
I
are
don't
quite
think-
far away.
I don't
And
think
they're
so.
falling.
How far away are
They are falling at terminal
Yeah, but-
velocity.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but-
give it a go.
Matt, you're forgetting. This would be really cool.
I think we'll be
How far away
fine.
are they really, Bill?
Let me splat into the ground and heal me. It'll be okay. I think.
Not
I
if you
can-
take as many
Yeah.
hit points as to outright kill you.
It's
Which
true.
won't be
but-
hard for you.
It'd be hard. It's hard to revive paste.
Okay, survival. Yeah.
Right,
How
hang on,
far
let
away
me
are they from the?
they're
from the
they're
army?
they're like a good 500-600 feet away.
Oh, you guys are fucked. Yeah.
Because they're like at the top.
Like
Yeah,
they're
of
like
the
they're like
hill,
half
and
a
we went
mile
back
or
down.
possibly more.
And
It's
they're
like a
100
mountain.
feet
He's
slash
like-
150 feet,
Be-
falling
be
at
on
terminal
a
velocity.
Fall distance is DM discrepancy, but it's 500 foot per round.
Yeah,
Which
like you
is
get
6
one round.
seconds.
You get there.
That's
You can
I've got a
dash.
griffin.
round.
You can
You
dash.
couldn't
Can I
even on a
dash
griffin.
on a griffin?
If you dash on a griffin, you get 160 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is nowhere near.
That's not far enough.
Well, you'll make it to pick up the scraps. Whatever's left.
Okay.
Arcus of Rurak.
Also, key point here. Casting Find Greater Steed takes 10 minutes. And you don't have 10 minutes.
Shite.
Don't worry,
I
guys. 20 minutes
guys-
now.
Are you guys falling directly above the enemy army?
Slightly off center.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that could be awkward.
Did you actually use your reaction, Muir? What did you
I
use
did.
your
It was to
reaction on?
give
Plus
plus
6 to
6 to Raffin's dodging.
Oh no.
And as I
Well,
say, in the
that
interests
was-
of role playing, I think I'm not sure Muir would realistically cast a spell falling at terminal velocity after blacking out. Doesn't.
The best
Mm.
plan might then be for me to grab the one that I can and then to sort of swoop down and
Pick up
pick
the
up
pace stuff.
the like
the pace.
whatever remains of the other one to get back.
If
For-
not, congratulations, you'll be the first prisoners of war in this war,
Whee! I can teleport. It's fine.
assuming you live.
Don't worry, we'll just leave you there for months and then come back for a different reason.
Oh, damn, man. Oh,
Right. I'm just gonna
uncalled for.
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. You guys decide what you're doing. We will resolve it. I want it picked, and we're gonna resolve it when I get back. All right. You're on the clock.
Okay.
What do you think then?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, if I grabbed one, then just grab the other. I mean, I'm not going to be able to stop the other one getting to the ground, but I think the key thing is to get the fuck out of dodge before.
How many
People
hit
become
points
prisoners.
do you have, Patrick?
Remaining 55.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
What's
No,
the
you
ball gonna
no,
do?
no. I'll be dead. But
I
it's
don't think
fine.
you'll be dead. I
I'm-
think you'll be knocked out.
I'm holding out for wings catching me like 2 meters above
Oh.
the ground.
What a bro.
It's gonna be great.
It's like we
Um,
knocked that Dragonborn from way higher than you guys were, and he
Yeah.
didn't die. He didn't even get downed. He stood up. You fuck.
Yeah.
I'm willing to admit he had more health points than you, but
Yeah.
I don't think he'll die.
I think Raffin should catch Rurik because he's closer and he's the one with all the healing. So, you know, if Rurik gets
Yeah, but
splatted,
you
I can't
can't
really do
heal
anything
dead.
about that.
Well, Rick can heal dead.
Yeah, he can.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not sure
forgot
what
about
would be a revivified splat would be, but you
I
know,
can reincarnate, but you might not want.
Might be
that's
trouble.
quite fun.
You'd be in the middle. You'd be a splat in the middle of an army. Really.
No.
But the
just
teleport
decide
is
to
great.
go.
Out with
As
you.
quick as you can and go.
Stuff me into a jar and then run.
Guess you can use your reaction to look for wings then.
All right. What's it gonna be?
I think the current plan is that I'm going to swoop for Urak and then try and pick up what remains of here.
Okay. So give us an athletics check, Raffin.
Okay, can I, like, if I use an inspiration,
Mhm.
will that help things?
That'll give you an advantage on it.
Right, I will do that. So it's an athletics one?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, that's good.
21.
21.
That's got to be alright, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, that will do it. So, Raffin, you from Raffin's perspective, you get lasered out of the sky. You have some experience with being lasered, actually. So you kind of get uneagled and kind of sort of, but because of the angle it hits, you kind of are spinning, and then you see what's going on below, and turn back into an eagle during the spin, and then kind of turn that into a dive, and just like kind of feet before Rurik hits the ground, you kind of get your talons in around the shoulders and go hit. And Rurik, you feel your feet kind of just like trail along the stormy muddy ground.
Cool. Nice. Awesome.
You need to try and climb
Can
on the
I-
back.
Like
So I can
reacting
grab
to
Muir.
that, can I kind of realize that Muir isn't being caught?
Yeah, I mean, like at this point, Muir will have hit the ground.
Can
So
I?
actually, what's Muir doing is probably the better question right now.
Nothing.
Probably flailing arms, maybe a bit yelling.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, probably that.
Okay.
Light flashing before your eyes, that kind of business.
Okay, let me just
Realizing God.
review.
Hey, would my character be able to do anything at this moment?
I mean, what do you want to do?
I have a spell with a range of 300 feet that can make 600 feet.
Oh, well, what's the spell?
They're on a
Earthbind.
different continent.
Yeah, okay, and I'll you know what, I'll say yeah. What's Earthbind do?
I'll cast Earthbind on Muir. You cast on a creature within range. You have to make a strength saving throw, or it has to be an airborne creature as well. If they fail it, they safely descend at 60 feet per round.
Okay. Sure, yeah. So well. Okay, give us a perception check,
Okay.
to see if you're able to kind of spot what's going on.
I feel like they probably would have been looking in the direction just because of the big
That makes
blast
sense, yeah.
that happened.
Mhm.
But we'll give a perception check. Oh, that's not very good, actually.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's really bad. I have a -1 to perception, so that's a 1.
Okay. So
It's a bird!
So, Sarth, you totally cast the spell. You just don't cast it on Muir. So Raffen, as you are approaching Rurik, you see these like loops of energy begin to form around him like a cocoon.
No!
And then he starts to like kind of twist in the air and go, oh, and kind of descend like on a pillow. You can see Muir is still hurtling towards the ground below.
I appreciate the attempt, random soldier.
That completely backfired.
So does that change your plan any, Raffen?
Well, am I able to go for Muir then, if Rurak's...
Yeah. So what did you get? You got a 21.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure an eagle maybe better than athletics than Raffen is. I'm pretty sure you take.
Oh, they have to do a strength saving throw.
Sure, yeah, you can give it a strength saving throw if you want, right? To resist.
Do I have to resist?
You don't have to resist.
Oh, it's Rurik doing. I thought it was on Raffen. That's why I was panicking.
No,
If it's on Rurik, that's fine.
Yeah, it's on Rurik.
To be fair, Rurak has no idea this is happening, and the last magic that hit him was hostile.
This is coming from the opposite direction, though.
Yeah, you can do what Rurik would do, right? You feel these loops of energy kind of around you, and then your fall begins to slow. But it's kind of you can kind of feel a tension in there that you feel like you could probably break.
So I have like a moment to observe the situation before immediately reacting.
Oh yeah,
Cool,
I mean
then
you're not falling very quickly now.
Okay, Rurak's chill. The spell is doing good for him. Rurak's happy.
Yeah, it's not like none of the bands are like wrapping around your throat or anything like that. Sure. Okay.
Does it, the blast that hit Naren, does it feel like a different source of magic?
Yeah, this one definitely feels kind of sparkly.
Okay, I can get down with sparkly.
Does that make sense? It doesn't. None of it hurts or anything. You get kind of generally, you get kind of fun vibes off it, if anything.
All right. Cool.
So let me just see. So Raffen had gotten a 21, but Giant Eagle is slightly stronger, so it's actually a 22. Given the readjustment in the air, Raffen, you'll be able to make it to Mira. You might not be able to. It might be kind of like kind of pulling her up at the moment of impact to kind of lessen the amount of damage she takes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
So let's see. I don't recall off the top of my head what the specific rules I'm following are. I want to make sure I'm not messing them up. the end of a fall, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet it fell. So you fell about 150 feet, so you're going to take, by default, 15d6. Muir. So 58. But Krafen can half that, so you get to 29. You feel like your legs just there's like the searing pain as you part of you impact, and you feel these talons kind of pull you up, and you get this kind of weird whiplash effect of just going just kind of getting like slapped against the ground quite hard, if that makes sense. But you are
very unconscious again.
very unconscious, but not dead, and you're still your leg might be broken. It will kind of be for conscious Mir to figure out. But yeah, otherwise, Rurak, you start you're in this little cocoon, you start going, whoa, start kind of falling slowly to the ground. You are gonna kind of land about 30 seconds later. And you guys can see the army is about 100 feet, they're sort of between you and the mountain. And they're all kind of pivoting to watch this happen. They see Rurik up there, and they see Raffen and Muir. Raffen and Muir, how are you? Where are you going? If that makes sense. What is your plan?
Well, Rurak's falling slowly still.
Yeah, he's in a
So
little
he still
cocoon.
needs picked up. I'm going to try and pick him up.
Sure, okay. You have got an
and
unconscious
get the
body
fuck
in your
out of Dodge.
talons.
Was that sorry?
You have got an unconscious body in your talons, though.
Yeah.
Rurak would
Can I position myself underneath him so he lands on my back?
No.
No?
Rurak actually said, go! Just go!
Can you not heal it?
How did you end up getting slowed?
I don't know!
I thought I'd caught you. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so what is your guys' plan?
Can I see Raffen and Mir fly overhead?
They're kind of below you, if that makes sense.
They're below.
Well, initially they are. If that makes sense.
Is there a slight possibility of timing the break, resisting the spell to landing on Raffen's back?
You could try.
Can you not just land on it with the rate that you're falling?
Yeah.
Land on Raffen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's gonna just come and pick you
Considering
up.
you're going slower than you would if you just instantly dropped it and started falling 500 foot per 6 seconds.
How? Yeah, I don't think I'm not 500 feet above the ground though, am I?
No,
how far
But you
above?
would speed up
You're
if you broke
150.
it rather
Yeah,
than
okay.
just
You're not
going
far.
slower.
Sure. I was trying to think of ways to not slow Raffen down and get them two out and safe. But sure. I'll fall onto them and gracefully land on Raffen's back, and we can go.
Sure, okay. Well, I guess first off, give us a strength saving throw to see if you can actually break out the spell.
But I thought the whole. Am I staying in the spell?
Are you saying
slow-
the spell binds you? If that makes sense, you're like a toast soldier.
How far above the ground am I, Jake?
80 feet.
How much?
You'll get there
do I-
in the next 10 seconds.
Okay. I'll just wait it out then.
Sure, okay. So you kind of float gracefully to the ground, and then you land, and the cocoon starts to unbind itself, and you're able to free yourself from it. It's this magical cloth that then kind of disappears as it falls off you. And then Krafen and Muir, what are you guys doing?
Right, so he's not landing on my back.
He's now on the ground.
Okay. And there's no way I can pick him up. Can I shift Muir to one talon and get Rurak another?
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to try and do that now.
Sure, okay. I mean, Rurik is also conscious enough to be able to climb onto your back.
Yeah. Well, I'll do that. I'll swoop down. Well, I actually should be fairly down there anyway, so...
Yeah.
When Raffen picks me up, I'll take Muir and put her on his back first, and then climb on up
Sure. Okay.
and heal her up.
So you get back onto Raffin's back in eagle form. You can see there's like a hail of arrows pass, kind of dangerously close, but kind of miss you. And you're all back together. Mira's kind of slumped forward. And you can see the army is still kind of heading up the slope. The other army is kind of pivoted to face you. Some of the infantry are charging towards you.
Okay, well, let's go. Let's fly. Let's go.
Hopefully. So I'll take off and head back.
Sure, okay. Just back to the main body of the army?
That's the plan.
Sure, okay. So yeah, you kind of peel off back up the mountain. There's a couple of stray arrow shots fly overhead, but it kind of looks like they're like kind of peel off as you. It makes it clear that you're like retreating. And you arrive back with the main body of the army as they're kind of marching swiftly up the hill. Any of your characters that might be nearby, you can see that Mira's like slumped forward. Her leg is at like a weird angle. Doesn't look very healthy. She doesn't look particularly conscious. Her faces look a bit like kind of burned and stuff. So what is your overall plan now?
Do we have any carts, or is it all everyone on foot?
You probably have one or two carts. Like they're like hand carts. Does that make sense? Like wheelbarrows.
Oh well, is there a cart that I can step Mira in that she'll be
something like that.
resting and comfortable? And it's
We can heal her up.
There's also Ward, yeah. And in fact, kind of as you guys return, Ward will kind of like bust through and go, "What's going on? What happened to Mira?"
She's hurt. Here you go.
Cleric gives to the robot.
I'll give her a cure wounds first level just before I let her go.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that heals yet, but it'll be enough to bring Mira back to consciousness, obviously. So Mira, you kind of awake, and you can see Ward is looking very concerned at you. Mira, you're alive. What happened to your leg? It's at a weird angle. I don't like it. Stop yelling at me. I didn't do it.
Probably just gonna.
Let's get going.
Probably just gonna pass out for a little nap.
Okay. Alright, it's okay. I've got you. What's got you? Sure. So, for the moment, once everyone arrives back, there's a kind of a gentle, a moment of kind of calm where it doesn't, I mean, other than the big storm that's going on right now, it doesn't look as if that army is currently pursuing. It looks as if they're kind of like, they're taking stock of the situation. And they're certainly not, they've still got a landslide in the way between you and them. So for the moment, is your plan just to continue up the hill? Sure, okay. So it's 10 to 10. That feels like a reasonably good place to stop for the evening. So we will pick up on the mountainside. We'll probably skip ahead a bit until something, until whatever the next thing that happens next week. But yeah, Mira's quite injured. Probably has a broken leg.
Is it a
Everyone else
broken
is alright.
human leg though, or a broken metal leg?
It's a broken human leg.
Yeah. Oh. 2 for 2 though,
Now you gotta be 2 metal legs.
2 metal leg McGee.
Yeah, okay. So let me get. Okay, so yeah, if you watch the stream, just for watching back next week, and see you then.